Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I'm about to get ready to go over to Alex's aunt's house for her birthday, but I thought that before I started getting ready, I would sit down and do a few meditations to get our weekend started right. So I brought the Melody Beatty books out with me, and I thought I would just scan through them and see what they are telling us today. Today's date is May 24th. Oh my God, I just found out that the pool is opening tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The pool, I won't be there at 10 a.m., but the pool is opening at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm very, very excited. There was some fear that it might not open this weekend because of pipes and things like that, but it is opening this weekend, so yeah, I'm excited about that. And over on my Peter Does Stuff channel, I just filmed a video announcing the movie for this week, which is a very summery movie, a movie that means a lot to me. So if you're watching along for Peter's Movie Club, please go check that movie out. Okay, so let's get into the meditations for today. Today is May 24th. Let's see what the language of letting go has to say to us. Wait, opened right to that. Letting the cycles flow. And yesterday's was about enjoyment. Okay, I read that one before. Let's see what the Journey to the Heart says. Journey to the Heart, May 24th. I haven't read from this in quite a while. Maybe I should read from this one, unless it's something that, okay. Rituals connect us with faith. Let's read the last couple ones. Trust that guidance will come. That might be a good one. Learn the art of joyful living. Listen for the music. Oh, you know what? This might be a good one, because of something last night. Okay, let's read this one. Listen to the music. This is from May 21st. The woman at the campground in Olympic National Forest extended an invitation to me. Some evenings, when the soaking pools are closed and the guests are in their cabins, the members of the staff build a campfire, gather around, and sing. Listen for the music. You're welcome to join us. You'll have a great time. The universe has invited us to join in too. How often have we heard the music and for some reason been fearful to join in? We don't have to stand in the shadows watching others make music, watching others laugh and have a good time, whether it's a group of friends doing karaoke or simply a good time of love and laughter. When we hear the music in our lives, it's okay to join in. Some of the best times in my life were spent around a piano making music with the people I love. Some of the most memorable times have been when I forgot my fears and self-consciousness enough to relax and have fun with the people I was with. Music is all around us. Listen for it. Seek it out. Know you're welcome to join in. Don't worry about how well you carry a tune or whether you know all the words. You've been invited to the campfire. Come, sing along. You'll have the time of your life. Now, the reason I picked this meditation was because last night, when I should have been listening to my audiobook, I sat outside, and it was such a nice evening last night, and the wind was blowing and stuff, and it was right after I got up from my nap before I started watching this movie last night. I sat out there, and I was just, like, listening to music on my, just was, you know, shuffling my iTunes, and I was listening to music. And it was interesting because I listen to music a lot. Like when I'm getting ready to film videos, I'll have music playing or whatever. If I'm just walking around here, if I'm doing, you know, sometimes I listen to audiobook, but a lot of times I listen to music. I've been listening to music, you know, recently if I take a walk and things like that. So I do listen to music quite a bit, but I very rarely anymore just like sit and listen to a song or listen to a song, you know, and I don't drive anymore. And when I used to drive, I would listen to music all the time and just sing, you know, have the windows down, the air flowing, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, so it's weird to me, my experience with music has changed because that was pretty much my experience with music was like I would get in the car and I would just like blast music and listen to music and I loved it, you know, just, you know, like driving down the street with my friends and we're both like, you know, singing to songs and stuff like that. And, you know, when I go with Tanya Jean places and stuff like that, we'll still like crank up the country music and sing along to it and whatever. But you know, that was something that my experience with music has changed because the main place that I listened to music was in my car, you know, and I don't do that anymore. So that's what I thought that this was going to talk about, was about the whole idea of listening to music and how music can impact us and things like that, because it was this moment for me last night. I was sitting there, I was like, you very rarely just like sit and listen to every song, and I was making like, I have all these playlists for like when I walk, and so I was like adding songs to my playlist. I have like a summer country playlist, I have like good vibes playlist, I have an entire walking playlist, and so I was adding all these songs to it. I was listening to, but I was listening to music that like I hadn't listened to in a long time, because when I shuffle through my iTunes, there's all these songs that like they rarely ever come up, right? And I was sitting there and like some of the songs were making me kind of sad, and some of the songs were like dance songs that were making me happy. Other songs were making me think because they were reminding me of certain times in my life, the song would, you know. And so it was funny because I haven't in a very long time really thought about the impact that music has had on me. You know, like obviously if we go to a music festival or a concert or something like that, I think about it in that moment. But I think it's something that these days I kind of just don't like really think about anymore. But I used to spend so much time listening to music when I was in my car, you know. But that's not what this is meditation about. This meditation is talking about the idea of, you know, not wanting to join in to something when somebody is like, if you're at an event, like it's using the analogy of like a sing-along and like, or, you know, getting involved in it. And it's something that I really relate to. It's interesting because I have been with friends and doing karaoke and everybody does it except for me. I'm somebody that has my entire life really suffered from anxiety, you know, social anxiety and like what people are thinking about me, and I never want to put myself in the spotlight, which is interesting now that I, you know, make videos on YouTube. But it's different sitting here just talking to where it feels like one person, right? Versus being like in a public setting or something like that, you know? It's interesting because in the book that I wrote, I even talk about that in there, is that the main character, who's very similar to me in many ways, is very much an observer of the world, not much of a participator. And I would say that that's how I have defined myself much of my life. Like, it's much more comfortable for me. Like, even like, we're going over to Alex's, you know, aunt and uncle's house today for his aunt's birthday, and even then there will be like, I'm better at it today with like joining in and sitting at the table and like, I mean, not like, I'm not talking about a sit down dinner table. Like I would always obviously do that. I'm talking about people will be scattered around, you know, I'm better today at like sitting down at a table and like joining in a conversation or, you know, being one-on-one with somebody. But there will still be moments where I'll like steal to the side and sit on the couch and, you know, just kind of sit there and kind of observe everything that's going on, right? That's always been, ever since I was a kid, a more comfortable space for me. To not be part of something, but to observe it on the outside. I've also been very aware that I feel like I'm missing out, but it's uncomfortable for me at times to, even with people that I know very well and I love, to be right in the middle of something. It's easier for me sometimes to sit on the outside. I think one thing that would probably surprise people, you know, I read this thing the other day online, and it was like, I'm an introvert unless I'm around people that I love, and then I'm the biggest extrovert you'll ever meet. And that's kind of the case, unless it gets to be like 10 people or more, and then I kind of like start closing in a little bit. It's been something that I've struggled with and has been hard for me my whole life, right? And I don't even know, like, I mean, there have been times in my life where I thought, like, what are the people thinking of me? Or do they think that I'm too, you know, heavy? Or do I not look correctly dressed? Or, you know, but I wouldn't say I really think that way anymore. And I've actually worked a lot on my social anxiety. So today, I'm better at that. Like, going over here today, I'm better at, like, hey, how are you doing? And, like, talking to people and that kind of stuff, right? But I'll still have my moment where I steal to the side and I kind of am just by myself. But I also notice, like, my husband will do that at moments, or, you know, his uncle will do that. Other people will do that. His mom, last time we were there, she was, like, falling asleep in the recliner. I love that people can be so comfortable, you know, in whatever space they're in. I am not so much that way. I struggle with that, right? Like, I struggle with being comfortable in whatever space that I'm in. I'm always very conscious of everything going on around me, and I always have been. And I think that comes as a result of being bullied so much when I was growing up, because I think, like, in any classroom that I was in, I remember being in a classroom and, like, you know, when teachers would, like, pick your desk, and if my desk was, like, let's say 3 rows back, right in the middle, that was the worst desk for me, right? To be in the back or to be in the very front, like in a corner, those were perfect seats because I could kind of, like, turn and observe everything, or I could see everything going on. I'm still somebody to this day that, like, if we go to a restaurant or someplace, I like to sit with my back to the wall because I like to see what's going on. I can remember being in classes, and this is so strange even talking about this, like, you know, I just said in a video the other day, and I think people just say it to, like, you know, upset me, but I said something about, like, people always say, like, just get over it, it's been so long, and you're obviously not over it. I'm over it in the way that I don't talk about it all the time unless I'm talking about it in a video, right? Like, this is not, if my husband and I are sitting around, I don't like say to him like, oh my God, when I was bullied. Like, when I'm talking to my best friend Tanya, I'm not like, when I was bullied. If I'm talking to other friends of mine, I'm not like, when I'm bullied. But in talking about it in appropriate situations to who I am today, and like in this kind of conversation, yes. Like, if I were doing it like in a share at a 12-step meeting and I was talking about, this is very similar to something that I would share. And if I shared, you know, like one of the reasons why I drank was because it took away all of my anxiety of what people thought about me. Yes, that goes back to when I was bullying. That would be an appropriate time to bring it up. I think that people think because I apply it to a video often, some people think this, that I haven't worked through those things or it still bothers me. It's going to be something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I think that's something that I've accepted a while ago. It doesn't have to affect me on the same way that it affected me 20 years ago. But, you know, those were foundation years for me, right? Like, and I think it's interesting in our society, it's like, well, if somebody is abused or if somebody is neglected, those things rank higher than somebody being physically, emotionally, and verbally bullied for 12 years of their life and being afraid to go to school. Like, that's less than, right? That's not as important as this. That person can continue to talk about whatever they went through their whole life, but if you're bullied, no, like, you need to get over that. Well, the bullying happened to me for all of my foundation years. It's something that's still inside of me, you know? It's something that still affects me to this day, and I still respond to it in that way. I think so many things of who I am today and who I've had to overcome as being an adult, had to overcome. I've had to overcome directly from those things of how I responded and reacted in those situations. That I was not comfortable in those situations. I constantly was looking over my shoulder. That's why I still today like to have my back against the wall. I don't know what people think. When I'm around people today that I know love me and I love them, that kind of goes away. I'm not really afraid. But when I'm in a group of people that I don't really know, that kind of terrifies me. I don't love, it can still be bad in a group of people that I know because I think maybe what they're thinking, you know, oh, he's gained weight since the last time I saw him, or, you know, this or whatever. And my weight is easily tied to that because nobody in my life today is really going to make fun of me for being gay. So I go to the next thing, right? And you know, and that's it. It's my weight has been something that has like really kept me from participating in life for, I mean, the last, 20 years or more, you know, and when it's fluctuated up and down, it's a huge part of what keeps me from participating. It's a huge part of what keeps me from singing the songs with other people, you know? And it's something that I think one of the things I've realized is I'm never going to get at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, you've worked on every issue and overcome. I think that's such an easy way to look at things. It's like when people say things to me in the comments, it's obviously people that don't like me, but they'll say, why are you not over this yet? Like, you need to get over this, right? There will never be a point in my life where I am fully over. I mean, even on my last breath, there will never be a point when I have fully worked through and am fully over every issue in my life. Everything that has happened to me in my life is going to have some reaction to me later in life, even if I've worked on it. And that's okay. I'm fine with that today. I just don't want to be stuck in that, right? Like, I want to sing the songs. But one of the things I've really learned is it's okay to allow yourself the freedom to sing with other people and be participating in whatever group activity they're doing. But at the same time, it's okay to be an observer and to watch what's going on as well and to enjoy that. For me, I like a little bit of both. I will tell you, for me, it makes me sad the times that I've missed out on where I've been stuck over here just observing people having fun, and fear has kept me from participating, right? Like, that social anxiety has kept me from participating. I'm not that person today. I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to have fun and I'm going to participate in life. I'm going to sing along with everybody else. But to assume that even in the deepest therapy or inventory or whatever, that you're going to ever reach this point where it's like, oh my God, I'm over all my issues. I've worked through all my issues. Like, nothing affects me today. It's such an ignorant statement and an ignorant stance that anybody would ever say, why aren't you over this at this point? Anything that is that traumatic, I mean, that I had a therapist look at me and say, don't you think that you've suffered PTSD as a result of this, is going to always have some kind of impact on my life, right? Maybe it's a jumping off point where I look at it and I go, this is what I went through, live the best life that you had now. And that's a positive way to look at it, right? But it's always going to have some kind of impact on me, you know? And so I think accepting that, not staying stuck in that. I don't want to stay stuck in it. I don't want to be that person that's constantly reacting to the world as if I was just bullied yesterday. I want to react to the world as a person that has worked through much of that, but is aware of the fact of the implications that it had on me, is aware of how it has impacted me, who it has turned me into today. And in many ways, it's made me a stronger person, right? I know for me today, I don't have to, I think for a long time, especially when I was overcoming my social anxiety, and I still have parts of it today, obviously, right? But I thought I had to be all in or all out. Like I felt like I had to participate fully, all 100%, or I was still, you know, whatever. What I realized is, social anxiety is going to always be there. It's the tools to get me through it. And one of the tools to getting through that is, sometimes it's okay for me to walk over to a couch and sit and just observe what's going on. I just don't want to miss out on the whole show, you know? I want to be part of it at some time. And today, I get to dictate when that time is, right? And that's powerful to me today. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.